Ricardo adjusted his headlamp, its beam cutting through the humid darkness of the cave entrance. "Ready, Siska?" he asked, his voice echoing slightly. "Ready when you are, Ricardo," Siska replied, her own headlamp illuminating a mischievous grin. Though a nice cup of tea would be better than all this dampness. They began their descent, the air growing cooler and thicker with each step. The cave floor was surprisingly smooth, worn down by centuries of unseen water flow. As they ventured deeper, the darkness seemed to press in, the silence broken only by their footsteps and the occasional drip of water. Then Ricardo stopped, his light revealing a sight that sent shivers down his spine. "Siska, look," he whispered, pointing his beam at a wall adorned with intricate carvings. Chinese dragons, their bodies intertwined, stared back at them, their eyes gleaming with an eerie life of their own. "Incredible," Siska breathed, running her hand along the cold stone. "This must be centuries old. What do you think it means, Ricardo?" Ricardo examined the carvings, his brow furrowed in thought. "It's definitely Chinese," he murmured, "perhaps a sign of an ancient expedition, long forgotten by time." They continued cautiously, their headlamps illuminating more carvings and statues. Each step seemed to take them deeper into the heart of a mystery, the air thick with anticipation. "You know," Siska said, breaking the silence, "for a place supposedly filled with treasure, it's awfully quiet. Maybe we should start singing, scare away the bad luck." Ricardo chuckled. "I think I prefer the silence, Siska. Less chance of attracting unwanted attention." He stopped abruptly, his eyes fixed on the ground ahead. "Pressure plate," he muttered, pointing to a barely perceptible depression in the stone floor. "Clever, but not clever enough." Carefully he skirted around the trap, Siska following closely behind. They were being watched, he was sure of it, but by whom or what remained a mystery. Unseen by either of them, a large shadowy figure moved silently amongst the stalactites high above. Its eyes, two glowing embers in the darkness, followed their every move. A startled cry escaped Siska's lips as the ground gave way beneath her. She plunged into the icy water with a splash, the current sweeping her downstream. "Siska!" Ricardo shouted, rushing to the edge of the chasm. The rushing water muffled any response. Desperation clawed at him. He had to find her. Following the course of the underground stream, he pressed on, his heart pounding against his ribs. Just when hope began to dwindle, he heard it. A faint but unmistakable laugh echoing in the darkness. He rounded a bend in the tunnel, and there she was, Siska, sitting on a rock beside a subterranean lagoon, wringing out her long, dark hair. "I thought I'd lost you," Ricardo exclaimed, relief flooding through him. Siska grinned, unfazed by her ordeal. "Don't worry, Ricardo, I'm a strong swimmer. Besides," she added, gesturing to the lagoon, "it led us to this. It's beautiful." Section 4. The Treasure of the Dragon's Eye. Ricardo, ever the pragmatist, took out his notebook and began to sketch. "Ricardo, the stream, the lagoon, the direction of flow," he muttered to himself. "Siska, I think I know where we are. We are beneath the Dragon's Eye, the extinct volcano." Siska's eyes widened. "Siska, the Dragon's Eye? But that's just a legend. Ricardo, legends are often rooted in truth," his eyes gleaming with excitement. "And if I'm right—" He trailed off, his gaze drawn to something on the far side of the lagoon. A glint of gold catching the light of his headlamp. The far side of the lagoon was a sheer cliff face, but a series of ancient weathered handholds hinted at a way up. Ricardo, ever cautious, tested each hold before putting his weight on it. "Siska, be careful, Ricardo, Ricardo, don't worry," his voice echoing in the vast chamber. "I've got this." Reaching a small ledge, he found what he was looking for, a sturdy rope secured to a rock dangling down towards the lagoon. "Ricardo, your turn, Siska!" he called down. "Grab the rope and swing across. There's a ledge on the other side." Section 5. The chase begins. Siska, ever the adventurer, needed no further encouragement. With a whoop, she launched herself into the air, the rope singing as she swung across the lagoon. She landed beside Ricardo, her eyes wide with excitement. "Siska, see, what did I tell you?" she said, grinning. "Trust the rope swing." Before them, nestled in a natural alcove in the rock face, lay the treasure. a hoard of gold coins, shimmering jewels and ancient artifacts, guarded by a jade statue of a snarling dragon. They stood there for a moment, speechless, taking in the sight. Then a sound shattered the silence. Footsteps, heavy and hurried, echoing from the tunnel they had just emerged from. "Siska, someone's coming!" she whispered, her eyes widening in alarm. Before they could react, a figure emerged from the tunnel, a triumphant smirk on his face. It was Mr. Masselroy, their rival, and he was not alone. Two burly men flanked him, their faces grim, their hands resting on the pistols holstered at their hips. "Mr. Masselroy?" Well, well, well," he drawled, his eyes gleaming with greed. "What do we have here?" Ricardo knew they were outnumbered and outgunned. There was only one option left. "Ricardo, run!" he shouted, grabbing Siska's hand and pulling her towards a narrow crevice hidden behind the dragon statue. Their escape plan, so carefully crafted, lay in ruins. The chase was on.